I went to the training the first day, 10 p.m. He's like, all right, we're on the stretch. And he was like, yeah, have a good night. See you at 2 a.m. I go in at 10 and I come back at like 10:30 and I was like, I quit. Literally the first day. I was just done with it.
Why?
Do you think any of those guys lived in a streamer house?
Ooh, segue.
Honestly, with all the drama, maybe.
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 I don't know how much research you did on this, Goatus, because like I feel
I'm
like
excited to talk about
Are
this.
you?
By the way, I'm mad at you for
did I
the
do?
record. The video that you sent me, the YouTuber that did it, I absolutely
I knew that. That's why I sent you
loathe
that one.
guy. I loathe that guy.
I know you do.
Yeah. And now because I was like, I gotta watch this. I have to watch. Like, this is for the podcast. Like, I gotta watch this thing. Now my YouTube recommended. It's got
It's
this
all him.
idiot's face plastered everywhere.
Yeah.
So mad.
You should have watched it off your account.
The guy that
I
he's talking
should've.
about is Asmongold.
I wasn't gonna say his name, but
I kind of like Asmongold. I'm gonna be honest,
he's
but
got a weird following.
he like I don't know.
Weird fans.
It's an interesting dude. I think that like because there's a lot of like PvP YouTubers, and he was like not for like World of Warcraft specifically, and like I don't know what he does. Like he collects mounts and like does PvE I don't know, but I've heard some of his takes. I don't think that he's a terrible person. If you guys don't know, there was like a ton of like streamer drama and stuff like that, where like Asmongold, Pink Sparkles, KBubblez.
Who is another streamer, by the way, that I've been
I was
vocal
gonna
about
say.
over the years. Yeah.
Mitch
Very
Jones,
vocal about Pink Sparkles.
and then I think there was some other people there. I think there was like 2 more. They all moved into a house together, and it's like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. You know, they're all streamers and stuff, and apparently they're getting evicted, so maybe it wasn't a good idea. That's kind of like the gist of the story. One streamer said something, like she felt like she was getting attacked by like the other streamers in the house, so she said like, hey, like guys, I feel really bad about this, and then like she tweeted it out that she was like not being respected, and then everyone like started calling her out for like ratting them out to their landlord, and then like.
But she's also Asmongold's girlfriend.
Yeah, which I didn't know. Like.
Yeah, which is so weird to me.
Yeah, that like the 2 people that you don't like are dating.
No, that's not his girlfriend, right? The other girl is.
Asmongold's dating Pink Sparkles, I think. I think that was.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
I can Google it. I'll Google it right now.
Will you confirm this? If
Mel's got the tea. She's got the tea.
Yeah.
I got it. Since I don't have too much to offer on this subject, we got
You're a G.
You got plenty to offer.
You're a fucking G, Moolinda. If that's the case, I'll just have you know right now, I'm gonna lose my shit.
It all makes sense now.
He is. It all makes. Jordan hates them as much as I do. There's no way.
Yeah, they're dating.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Is this the same Pink Sparkles I'm thinking of?
I think so. Yeah.
I gotta look at this. This can't be.
Because I think Pink Sparkles was the one who felt like she wasn't being respected, and then KBubblez tweeted at her that she was like that she wasn't telling the full story, and then I think KBubblez went on her stream and she was
Oh
like,
my
spilling
god,
the
it
tea.
is.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
She was so it's just like a ton of streamer house drama, which I think is actually like hilarious. Because like from an outsider perspective, and hindsight is 2020, everyone's like, well, yeah, duh. Like,
yeah.
But I
God,
think
I hope
like,
they give each other STDs. Sorry.
oh my goodness.
That is a harsh statement.
Ah.
We don't want any more spreading of STDs. None. That's a biology perspective.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I don't know because like thinking. No, we're off the STD thing. We're back on the streamer thing.
okay, yeah.
Like they're all such like big personalities. Like putting that many people, you know, like streamers have a personality. Like, you know, they get out in front of people. So like at least they're somewhat extroverted in a way to be able to show themselves to people, right? And so putting that many of those kind of people together is probably not a good idea because like life's a balance, right? We're gonna get zen here. Life's a balance of all of the passive people and all of the really aggressive people, and like how they mix together somehow makes like a good formula. But like you put all of the same kind of people, and that's like it's not gonna work out.
No, I agree with that. I think that when you get all these like loud personalities, I don't think necessarily all streamers are extroverted. I honestly feel like I'm a pretty introverted person in real life, but online I'm able to like bring out that extroverted side of me.
For sure.
But like I don't know, when you put like all these people who are they're very loud personalities, Pink Sparkles,
Yeah.
Asmongold, Mitch Jones, like I don't know about KBubblez, but I know those 3 are like pretty loud. you put them all in a house, like, of course they're gonna like clash like a little bit. Like, you think it's gonna work, but it's like I think that when all these people are like this large of streamers, there's gonna be something going on, you know.
Yeah.
Especially now that I think Asmongold he's on the older end. He's like probably like later 30s, right, or 20s. I mean,
Let me Google it.
later
He's
20s.
late 20s, according to him in that video. He looks like he's 93, and I'm just sitting over here like dying inside.
It feels like for me personally, even like I'm 21, I don't want to live in a house. I wanna live in my own place, you know, I like create my own content and stuff like that. So it's just like I don't know, like the idea that they would want to live in a house like that in their later 20s, that kind of it's interesting.
Right.
To me. What's up, Izzy? How's it going?
Lone Soul? Izzy, what's going on? Here's my take on the whole thing, and this is coming from some experience at doing this before. When I was like 17, I moved out of my parents' house, lived with two buddies. It was all right. It was pretty disastrous across the board. We fought regularly about something. Like, living with people is extremely hard to do.
Yeah, for sure. Even people you
schedule-
love, right?
Yeah, and like
Even,
these were friends. Like, we hung out
like my
regularly.
sister. Like I love her. She's standing right here. I love her. But we just like when we're living together, not good. When we're not living together, we love each other. Want to see each other every week, and we go get
Yeah.
coffee. Like,
Yeah, when somebody's just constantly in your space, it takes its toll. Like,
Is your sister
to give you
yelling
an
at you?
example,
no, she goes coffee in the background.
she, you know, like the friends that I live with, it's like always a problem because like inevitably schedules don't jive. At the time, I was actually working overnight, so like I would get home at like 10 in the morning and want to
be
go to
tired.
bed and be tired, and like then I'm up, you know, later than everybody else, and they get up early, and it's like, well, you'll be pissed off at me, but like, what do you want me to do? You want me to pay rent or not pay? Because like this is what my job is. I'm a firm believer that really, I think roommate situations very rarely work out. I think when you're forced to, like in a dorm situation, you made a mistake. You made a mistake, Moolinda. You said sister in front of Jordan.
She's 12.
Oh, okay.
Joke's on you, Jordan.
But we're gonna say she's 12. So that means she's off limit.
Yeah, Jordan.
Also, she's like the exact opposite of me.
Yeah,
oh,
roommate
shit, I was
situations.
never here. So I had one roommate that worked out pretty decently. It was just me and him. Very rare chance of that ever happening.
Yeah.
I think when you get a bunch of big personalities in, especially like when you, because there's like 4 or 5 of them that were like in this house again. Like, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Especially if one of them is a couple and like the others aren't.
Well, like when I lived with my best friend for a little bit, right? And I think we were together 6 months or something like that. And that worked fine for me, which was interesting. But like there was still stuff going on in that house that I just wasn't a part of. So like there's 2 separate couples there. What's up, Kevin? How's it going? Just coming to say hi, I'm lurking. That's what you do for this podcast, dude. I love it. Well, you aren't required to, but yeah, we lived together. There's 2 couples. And one of the couples they would fight frequently. I remember. And because my room was directly next to them too. So like I would hear all of the fights and stuff. And I was just chilling, doing my own thing. I was streaming and stuff. And I was like, I'm just gonna not get involved. There was cats in this house too. I'm allergic to cats, so I just leave my door shut all the time. So that might be why. That might be why I didn't experience any of the drama. I just wasn't there. I would take out the trash. I would do dishes every now and then, but that was about it. You know? And then after that, I moved in with a couple other friends. Like, I never had anything like too bad. I think I'm a pretty easy person to live with. But it's like I've seen like with these couples interact and stuff. Just living with a couple is dangerous enough. Like they might fight. That might happen. You know. So it's just like the idea that they would like think that this is going to go like really smoothly in a house that like they have all these loud personalities. They got couples and stuff. I don't know. My brother's currently living in a house with 7 people. That's him in Washington, which I understand. Because he is 20 years old and he's living in Washington. He just moved there across the country. It's going to be a lot cheaper for him to live with that many people than if he doesn't, you know. But no, I get it. I also don't think that it's optimal. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's just not a good.
Well, especially when you're making like the salary that a lot of these guys are. It's like, why do you like? I understand it might be fun, but like, why does it matter? Like, why do you gotta move in with these people? Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Asmongold makes, I don't know what Asmongold makes. I'm sure more than me.
he definitely
Like I'm sure he's doing okay for himself. He's one of the largest WoW
It's for content.
content creators, that there are. Whether you like him or not, the guy makes a lot of content and he's got millions of viewers. Pink Sparkles, I think she's banned on Twitch right now, or she stopped streaming entirely.
Is she actually?
But
If she's
yeah,
banned on Twitch, then that would be really dangerous to have her in the house. Because if she appears on stream, that streamer can get banned too.
yeah, she was regularly banned.
Wait, I got it again. Moo with the inside scoop.
Yeah, she's been banned several times in the past. She is the definition of the titty streamer tag of.
She's not currently banned.
She's
Yeah,
not. Okay.
the very first video that popped up was Pink Sparkles. Is everything wrong with Twitch TV?
Yeah, and
We're gonna click off that.
That's probably my video, by the way.
Waffle says that it's for content. What did I just do? I messed something up. Oh, somebody.
Oh no,
move us. Eodon, sorry. We're doing a podcast.
What have you done?
Okay. Sweet. It didn't mess anything up either. I love it. that was weird. Sorry, Eodon. We love you. But
there you go. You said you never see the big dog. She's up here.
She's up here right now.
Yeah.
Go
Here,
back.
We'll do doggo camo.
There's the two dogs.
Aw,
They're cute puppos. So yeah, Waffle says it's for content. Yeah, I get that too. I don't really like. I understand that like when they appear on each other's streams, they both have such large followings, that like it's going to benefit them. Like Pink Sparkle's followers are gonna follow Asmongold. Asmongold's followers are gonna follow Mitch Jones. Like it's all gonna like cycle around and stuff like that. So that makes sense to me. But it's also just like I don't. Is it worth it? Like it seems like it might not like pay out in the long run, But
yeah, for sure.
maybe it'll be fun experience. They get evicted after like a couple weeks, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Like, we tried it, it didn't work. I don't actually know if they are getting evicted too. I think that might just be a rumor. Is that a rumor?
Well, so the eviction process has been started, according to Asmongold, and you would assume that he would know.
He seems like a pretty honest dude too. I don't think he'd lie about it.
Yeah, I don't have any reason to doubt him. Like I said, I don't have a problem with his content. I've had actual interactions with him and people that have dealt with him that were less than impressive and maybe caught him at a bad time. I don't know, but not a fan of him personally. But don't have any reason to doubt what he says. The eviction process takes a long time. It's not easy to evict somebody in any state. I don't know. They're in Texas. I'm guessing they probably got some pretty strict policies there, because you can't just be like, hey, you're out on the streets. Like, it doesn't work that way. You can't just like change the locks and evict them. It takes usually a couple months to evict somebody. So yeah, we'll see. Typically, when you got a bunch of younger people that all rent a house together and stuff like that, though, the more that are in there, the more likely it is to end that way. Because neighbors like neighbors are not, according to Asmongold, the community was like a more wealthy, kind of suburban neighborhood, and that kind of demographic typically is like when a house full of like mid 20-year-olds living next door to them. That's typically how that goes.
You think they like threw ragers and stuff? I feel like they might have. Like,
I mean,
ragers,
probably.
but like, I don't know, loud music and stuff like that. Like, I remember, I can't believe that we didn't get evicted from my last apartment. I wasn't on the lease, so I didn't really care too much. But, like, we played loud music very frequently. I remember one day, like, we stayed up until, like, playing a rock band. This was, like, every week, actually. Stayed up playing a rock band until, like, 3 a.m. And it was, like, we didn't get a single call. We didn't get, like, a complaint or anything. I was like, man, these people are very much tolerating us, or we just have really thick walls. Like, it was crazy. But it was a good time. I liked playing rock band. I'm really a big fan. You ever live with anybody, Moolinda? Or you just like live at home?
I actually live on campus. I've been living on campus since my freshman year.
Sorry about
The first time I lived with this girl, and we, luckily we had our own rooms, so it's like an apartment style dorm. So we have our own rooms, and we have a kitchen, washer and dryer, living room. But we actually like chose each other to like live with, and that did not work out because
Like
like
Pokemon.
I like would
I
let
choose
a
you,
lot
yeah.
of stuff just go because I didn't want to start problems with her, but like a lot of stuff she did bothered me.
Can't do that when you're
Uh,
living with people. You gotta confront
really.
them. I feel like
And
you
like
gotta say something.
she was just such like a selfish roommate, like in a way. And like I was like just wanted to help her, like she needed my help, like I was here, and she just wasn't that, and like it just didn't click. And then last year I had this random girl who I didn't care at that point, and then we just never talked. Like we literally like never talked. Like we were like,
That's probably
hey
the
girl.
best possible situation.
It was amazing actually because neither of us cared what the other one did. She was an RA actually. She didn't care what I did, and I mean I don't drink or anything, so like it wasn't an issue. But it was always like a hey girl, and then we would just never talk to each other. That's it, which was great. But then this year, apparently I'm living with underclassmen. Like I'm still living in the same apartments, but there's two underclassmen, and they like made the group message or whatever, started texting me, asking me like,
2 girls or
yeah, well they're all girls. Yeah, there's
okay.
three girls every time because it's on campus, and so they were like, hey, like we chose our room to be the party room. Like, do you have anything to say? I'm like, well, I'm a senior. And so I just have one request is like, please don't let me hear you. Like, if you're in your room and you're yelling, that's fine. But like, I'm just trying to sleep. Like, that's all I'm doing. Like, I'm only going to be here for the fall. Like, please just don't let me hear you or else I'll fight you.
So like the
Which I,
conversation was like, say we're gonna be like the party room, and you're like, okay, but you're not. You're gonna keep it
It's a good
down.
thought.
I'm like, but I'm not going to hear you. Right. And
Yeah.
then they're like, and then there's this one girl who's bringing her dog, which I'm like, great, bring your dog. I don't care. Just don't let me hear you. That's literally my one rule. I don't care what they do. I just am going to exist. And
Don't let me
hopefully
hear you.
their existence doesn't bother my existence. So, I mean,
So
I'm
funny.
pretty easygoing when it comes to that. But like last year, I had this one roommate who was amazing and like one of my favorite roommates. But she was in the kitchen all the time when I was trying to like take a nap or like I'd be sick or something, and she'd be like yelling to her friend on FaceTime. And I was like, oh my god, please put earbuds in, please, they exist. But yeah, so
Always
living
wanting.
together is always hard, and like one of my best friends, I want to live with her, but at the same time, I feel like that would put a strain on our friendship. So like I just am kind of like, I mean, maybe we don't need to live together unless we actually need to live together. We shouldn't,
And this is living with people who aren't broadcasting their life 24/7. Like,
Yes, like this is my best friend that I've known since I was born, basically,
Yeah.
and I just don't want to like strain our relationship. She's like my sister, but
My
yeah.
wife, when she was doing her rotations, had a rotation. It was like family practice.
what's a rotation?
For med school, basically like for PAs, they have to do like a couple of weeks, like 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, whatever it was, in different rotations, like different fields of medicine.
Hmm.
And the school assigns them their rotations. Like you don't get to pick. And her family practice rotation was in a town called Safford, which is like 5 hours away, and you have to live there. So it was obviously really awkward because, like, here we are, like late 20s, like very established couple, and she has to go to school, like live in this house with three other people. So we actually went down there like 2 days early to like scope out the house and like claim the best room because we figured like one of them was a master and like we're gonna claim that. So like we went down there early and then we literally just bought like everything for her to be self-sufficient. Like we bought like a lock for the door, we bought like a mini fridge to put in her room, like everything, like so she would never have to like interact with her roommates at
Hmm.
all, ever.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's the only thing that made that entire time. Like the house didn't have internet, so like we bought like the Verizon like hotspot, like 4G,
Hmm.
like device, and like she didn't tell her roommate she had it. She like because they would have been like, "Oh, can I get on it?" And she's like, "No, like
No.
leave me alone. I have my own thing here. Just leave me alone." She would
Yeah,
like
that's
go
like
out to cook something, and she kept one bottle of vodka in the freezer of like the community fridge. That was like her only contribution to the house. She's
yeah.
like, "I'm gonna clean what I use, and I'll clean the kitchen because like a gross kitchen is gross.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, don't talk to me at all ever.
Mhm.
No,
That's like
fine.
me. That's like me with these girls who are texting me. It's like, I mean, I'm sure they're great people, but it's kind of one of those things where I'm going to school and like I'm taking hard classes. Like I'm in my 4,000 level biology classes, you know, biochem and like all of that stuff. And so I'm like, I'm going to sleep. Like that is where if I am in the apartment, I'm sleeping. Like that's just it. Like I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends outside of the apartment, and then if I'm in the apartment, don't talk to me.
You're
Like
a
that's just
senior
it.
too. Like it's just not really
Yeah,
a.
I've like grown out of the like woo phase. I'm like, oh my god, I just need to survive like another year. Like that's
A
literally
match
all I
made
do.
in heaven. Yeah. Yeah, Melinda can stay with us. Her and my wife will get along because they won't talk to each other.
And then I can
They
play
can
with
be
your
roommates.
hedgehog. Maybe your hedgehog will like me. Maybe
He
that'll make
won't.
him
I
less of
can
an asshole.
promise you he won't. I can promise you he won't. He's an angry individual.
I liked when I met Goatus. I was actually living in a dorm. That was when I went to NDSU, which is like an hour away from my hometown. And
You met me?
yeah, like when we like called, or like I don't
Yeah.
know when I met you online. And my roommate, like, we were so disconnected. He didn't play video games. He was really into like fishing and stuff because Minnesota.
Mhm.
And then I played a lot of video games and I was into like making videos and stuff. So I remember I had like my desk set up in a corner, and because I love arranging stuff like internal design and stuff. So I took my dresser. This is the best way I found with like my small area. I had half the room. I put my dresser up in like the one side of the corner, and I put my bed up on the other side of the corner, and it was like I was living in a cubicle for like the entire like semester. And I was just like sitting there, and like every now and then he'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave," and I was like, "Okay," and he'd like dip out. And like I don't know, we were lived in the same room too, so like when I would talk on Discord and like we were reading stuff, I probably annoyed him. But I remember I got a job at that point in time, and I was going to work. They told me I could have whatever hours I wanted. I was working for $10 an hour for a phone service, but I had to go through training. This was the catch. I had to go through training at like 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. every night for like 2 weeks. That was the catch. Then otherwise I could just choose my hours. And I told them, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be doing this thing where I'm going to be coming home at 2 a.m. every night. I was like, I just hope I don't like wake you up. And I went to it like the first day, and this is the reason I don't get embarrassed, by the way, is because I do stuff like this all the time. I went to the training the first day, 10 p.m. He's like, all right, we're on the stretch. And he was like, yeah, have a good night. See you at 2 a.m. I go in at 10, and I come back at like 10:30, and I was like, I quit. Literally the first day, I was just done with
Why?
it. It was awful. Like I had to go
Sorry,
for
my dogs
training.
are going crazy.
You're good. But I had to go to training for like 2 weeks at like coming home at 2 a.m. while I'm in school. And the phone service that I was doing, it was communication services for like the deaf or something, meaning that like people would call me, and then I would have to learn shorthand to type out a message whenever they were speaking. I was just like the middleman of a conversation between a deaf person. And like so I would like type out the conversation of whatever they were saying to me, and then I would send it to that person. Except the shorthand that they had you learn wasn't like texting shorthand. It was like really stupid stuff. Like I would type in like in before, or not in before. We're not gonna use that one. But like I type like LOL, for like laugh out loud. But instead of like typing LOL, I would type like KJS. Like it didn't make any sense. I don't know why it would be like that, but that's just how it was. And I had to learn this entirely new language so I could shorthand all this stuff. And I was just like, nope, not doing it. So
Yep,
I just quit first day
Over it.
after like
that's
an hour.
fair.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just don't want to, like if you decide after the first day, you're like, nope. I mean, I'm so worried that like I'm gonna go and shadow my dentist in like the fall and just be like, nope,
I hate it. You're gonna be a
nope.
dentist?
I hate it. Yeah, I'm gonna go to dental school hopefully after. I've been studying for the DAT, which is the dental admissions test.
It means you can fix my crazy teeth.
I would love to fix your teeth.
um,
But yeah, I really love. I think the thing that I love about teeth and like just dental school in general is like I've always been really interested in more so the problem. Like there is a new problem that comes in every hour, right? And you have to fix it. And I like that. So it's one of those things I like to help people. I like problem solving, dental school, and I like teeth. So
yeah. Did
That
you ever
explains why
watch?
like the whole time I've been like doing this stream with you guys, I've been like, Melinda has a really nice teeth.
Aw, thank you. I hope so. I grew them and then I messed up, so my orthodontist fixed them.
I grew them. I grew them myself.
I
That's
grew it
awesome.
myself. I
Yeah.
grew it myself.
Did you ever
I
watch
got 'em.
Fairly Odd Parents with like the what's his name? Chip Skylark? My
Yes.
shiny teeth and me. Oh my god.
Yes.
That's a good song.